Hey, you guys, it's me, Kiana, coming at you today, and I'm coming at you. Basically, you guys know that this is somewhat like a diary for me. Um, at times, it's times we want to talk about deals, and times we want to talk about hair. Sometimes we want to talk about makeup. Um, Speaking of hair, I got this awesome full lace human hair wig, Indian Remy wig that I got to show y'all. But I'll show you that on another video. But anyway, I just wanted to come and talk to you guys about personal triumph. Um, Actually, it's a personal triumph every day. And hopefully it inspires and encourages others. Um, and even if it doesn't do that, at least it's something that you probably can relate to. Um, Giving you an insight on some of the things that I have to go through. And that's the purpose of actually talking about some of these things, is because it does show that we have something. Everybody has something to battle. It also shows that we can relate to each other more than we think. And sometimes it also shows that, guess what? You too can make it. You too can press forward. You too can overcome. Let me show you. Let me show you what my let me show you something that I needed to conquer for the past couple of days. Yeah. You see that? A huge bag of onion rings. As you can see, they're not open. And that bag has been in my deep freezer since I returned from the cruise. Unopened. And I left with it unopened. Came back with it unopened because Daddy doesn't eat them and Pootie doesn't either. Um, and now, 2 weeks later, that bag is still unopened. And I say that with pride because anybody that knows me, and you've probably seen it on my channel, know that I love onion rings. That's like my biggest guilty pleasure. That and chips. I literally could eat that as a meal every day. And those are not only onion rings, they're not the cheap ones. These are gourmet onion rings. And they're even better if you haven't had them. But they're dipped and battered. And not the greatest thing for you. So as I sit here and show you guys these onion rings, I sit here also looking at my protein shake that I have to have for dinner. And 2 weeks later, after being tempted at times to open that bag and use that wonderful deep fryer that Chef Holly sent me, shout out to Chef Holly, um, I won't do it. I won't do it. Why won't I do it? And how I'm able to eat one meal a day, and that's a low carb, sensible meal. Usually salad with protein on it, and have my other two meals be liquid form. How am I able to do it? Well, first of all, that is not the only thing in my home. Those onion rings is not the only thing. There's chips here. I think Daddy has some ice cream, two things of Breyers ice cream in the freezer. Um, what else is there? I think he has some canned sodas. He don't usually use can. He does usually drink sodas, but he does have some canned sodas. He has a few things, um, because I don't expect everybody to eat like I'm eating. That would be unfair, and that would be quite silly to even think that. People can support you, but they don't have to change everything they're doing to show support. There's many ways of showing support. You guys, I'm pretty sure you haven't changed anything in your home to support me. You understand what I'm saying? So there's many ways to show support, and he definitely shows support in every single way. But he does eat things that he likes, and Pootie eats things that he likes, and Nene eats things that she likes. So everybody don't have to go hard as I am. You understand what I'm saying? I don't expect them. Don't even ask it. Don't even think about it. So it's other foods in this house. But those onion rings, boy, have been calling me, whispering out of the deep freezer. But I've denied him every single time. And that's a personal triumph for me. Why? Because when I came home, I decided that I was going to make some changes. And ever since that day I came home, I've done it. And I haven't struggled with it too much. Sure, I'm human, and at times, like I said, I've been a little tempted, but not tempted enough to even go and be like, oh, well, should I bake them instead of frying them? Is that better? No, I haven't even been, I'm not even trying to, because sometimes we try to convince ourselves that maybe we can have a little bit and that won't be too bad. Or maybe we can bake it instead of fry it and that won't be too bad. It's sick. It's a sick way of thinking. And we do have a sick way of thinking about food. And when I say we, I'm talking about those of us who struggle with overeating, those of us who struggle not even with just overeating. Some people just struggle with eating the wrong things. So when I say we, that's who I'm talking about. We sometimes we try to tell ourselves these things that we can do a little bit or whatever. But can a crackhead say he'll do a little bit of crack? Can a alcoholic say he's just going to drink one beer? So we have to look at it as what it is and see it for what it is. It's a sick way or a sick relationship with food. We have to change that. We have to fight through it. We have to push through it. We have to stop giving food power. Because if I was to go in that kitchen and fix those onion rings, in essence, those onion rings, something this little, something this meaningless, has no heart, no soul, no flesh, no spirit. I let that beat me. I let that have all my power. I let this control me. And when I started looking at things as an either or situation, that's when things clicked. People sometimes probably have enough respect for me not to ask. But I know people sometimes think, well, what's going to be different this time, Kiana, from any other attempt that you've done to lose weight? Well, first of all, I have been successful at losing weight. And I have gained some back, but I'm not as big as I was when I first started YouTube. That's first and foremost. So I have kind of the advantage that I never had before, because before that weight loss that I did maybe about 8 months ago, I did not have the advantage of saying that I lost weight or lost a good amount of weight. So this time going around, I know it can be done. That's for one. For two, I stopped rationalizing or stopped trying to convince myself that I could do a little. You understand what I'm saying? And for three, the biggest thing is it's either live or die. That's how I look at it. I literally look at it, you guys, as this. If I indulge in those, that's going to lead to my death. I know that's kind of big and drastic, and some people would say, kind of over the top. But guess what? My weight is over the top. My heart palpitations are over the top for somebody that's only 35 years old. The distance I can walk or can't walk is over the top. The way my ankles swell if I push too hard, push too long, is over the top. So I look at it as, yes, over the top. but I look at it as what it really is. That will lead to my death. And I stopped looking at things as, oh, it's just this time. Oh, it's just a little bit. No. I look at it as, do I want this to stop me from being able to go on school trips with my son? Do I let this stop me from being able to take long walks with my son? Do I stop this from being able to go to the gym with my daughter and actually enjoy working out with her? Do I let this stop me from being able to travel? Do I let this stop me from being able to care for my husband as he gets older or as his illness progresses? Do I let this stop me from being able to care for my mom and have to hire nurses and stuff, even though I'm sitting right here and I have the luxury of being able to work at home and I can care for her? Do I let this, again, something that has no heart, no soul, no flesh, no thoughts, no mind, do I let this stop me from living? And yes, it is over the top. It is over the top. And yes, it sounds pretty deep and pretty serious. Because it is deep. And it is that serious. So, when I look at those onion rings, or when I hear them whispering and calling me, I no longer pick up. Because I know that will lead me down to the road of death. And I know I have so much to offer, as you have so much to offer. Just think, we haven't even tapped into our full potential yet. We haven't even tapped into it. If we think we're good now, we're bound for greatness. Because it only can get better. It only can get better. As we get better, other things get better. Our goals are more attainable. Our focus is more directed. Our spiritual growth and discernment and things like that are sharper. Yes, over just turning away from something that's going to lead me down the road to death. So when you ask, what's different this time? The difference is, I no longer make excuses. The difference is, I no longer just take a little. The difference is, I look at it exactly for what it is. Life or death. Which one would you choose? As for me, I shall live and not die and declare good works. On that note, you guys, I love you all so much. Look at every overcoming situation that you have, every hurdle that you've overcame. This week, last week, today, tomorrow. Look at all of them. And know that if you can do it that day, you can continue on doing it. And even if it was a small one, those small ones build into big ones. It just takes that one small one to start it off. One. And build on that every day. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing. On that note, you guys, I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. And be blessed.